Welcome everybody. Are you overwhelmed with all the things that you have to teach your kids, particularly for literacy? Then this event that we're starting on Monday is going to be for you. Many of you are here because you know about the Level Up Your Readers Achievement in the Next 5 Days Challenge. But if you don't, I want to make sure that you know about it, and so you're welcome to come and join in. Hi, I'm Dr. Marty Ginsberg from Reading Simplified, where we streamline reading instruction and accelerate students' reading achievement, because you're just probably given way too much to do. We need to streamline what we are asking teachers and ourselves to do, and we need to at the same time see our students accelerate. And so that's what this special event is about. It's called the Level Up Your Readers Achievement in the Next 5 Days Challenge. Today's just a little preview, a little optional extra if you want to know how to do, again, our optional assessment, okay? So I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek at how this assessment can work, and this helps folks who are going to be jumping into our Level Up Your Readers Achievement Challenge. So this is what I'm talking about. How many of you have already signed up? Give me a thumbs up. Are you in? It is free, and we'd love to have you join us. Let me drop the link. Actually, I don't know that I can drop the link. Got a little snafu in my comments option. Maybe there's somebody clever here. I don't think Greg is here. It's the middle of the night for him. If someone can figure out how to plop that link down, I'll show it to you. It's readingsimplified.com. Right here, readingsimplified.com/level-up-offer. So we're just offering a complimentary training for 5 days, and all you're going to be asked to do is try one activity. There's a little picture of it here. We call it Switch It. And each day we'll show you more and more about that activity. And you will be amazed at how it will level up your students' reading achievement, whether you have a beginner or a struggling reader of any age. If they're not yet fluent, this activity is, odds are, it will help them. Okay? So that is why we're here. Thank you so much, Jennifer. There you go. That is the link, except it's got it's close. It's so close. Change that to that semicolon to an L. Thank you for typing fast. Tara is in. I love it. Okay. So what I'm going to be showing you today is just a quick video example of an optional assessment. We call it the Snapshot Informal Assessment. And it is something that we give away free if you jump into this free event. Okay, so once you've signed up for this free event called the Level Up Your Readers Achievement Challenge, and Jennifer's helped us out with the link. Once you do that, look for an opportunity, the very next page, to join our Facebook group, private Facebook group, and here it is. There we go. Once you register at this link that Jennifer dropped, you can choose to join this Facebook group. Once you get access, you can be part of the, right now we're at 5,800 members for this event. That's how popular this is, because each year it just grows, because every year people tell their friends and colleagues how powerful it is. So once you join this group, then you can go down here to guides. See, this might be easier on a desktop to see it. I'm not sure exactly what it looks like on mobile, but under guides right here, we click that, you would head over here. And first, we only have one guide up right now. There will be more in a few days. So in guide 1, there are the 2 freebies. You're going to see there. You're going to see the snapshot. Click through here. The snapshot, that's what I'm going to be talking about today, and also the Switch It guide. So for the challenge that I'm talking about, Level Up, you have to get the Switch It guide, or, you know, that's what we were recommending. But it's optional to do this snapshot. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about to you. Now, folks are asking about where people are and so why they can't see their chat. So right now I am streaming to multiple places. So if you're on our Reading Simplified Facebook page, that'll probably be the easiest place to see all the comments. But if you're coming to us from YouTube or inside the Facebook group that I was just showing you, maybe you won't see as many comments, or you might see them looking different, and that's why. Trying to make sure that everyone can get to us, so people who aren't on the Book of Faces can also see us. Okay, so today, as I said just a minute ago, we are talking about this assessment. Here we go. This is the point. Okay, so if you're in the Facebook group, Level Up Your Reader's Achievement in 2021, you'll have this option to go here to this guide and then download this PDF. So I'm going to click on See More, and if I click on this PDF, I will head over to here. Okay, this again is an optional PDF. It's just about helping you place your student in the activity that we're talking about, which is Switch It. You may know enough about your students already. You don't need to do this assessment. Don't do it extra if you've already got enough data. Mainly we want to know what letter sounds our kids are knowing already, and how are they doing on phonemic segmentation. And by that I mean, are they able to segment or separate the sounds in words? So if you give them the word cat, can they say k, a, t? Okay? Can they do it at 3 sounds? Can they do it at the more complex one, like 5 sound word, like stand, st, a, n, d? That is an example of phonemic segmentation. Those two things together are super helpful for knowing where to place your student in Switch It. So here is the Switch It guide that you would also be able to get if you were inside that Facebook group. And notice these colorful bars on the right. That is telling you these are different levels, progressively harder levels of word difficulty based on phonemic properties. How many sounds are in the word? So the purple level there, CVC, is consonant, vowel, consonant. That's just 3 sounds. That's the easiest level. Most kids will start there if they're beginners or kindergartners. But if you have anybody in 1st grade and above, unless they have some significant disability, you can probably start them at a higher level. Again, if you already know some of this information about your students, like letter sound knowledge and phonemic awareness ability, you might be able to just kind of pinpoint where to start. There's no right or wrong. If you start too easy, you can always make it harder tomorrow. If you start too hard, you can back down in the middle of the lesson. So say you wanted to start with CVC, right here, the purple level, you would go to the lists in this packet, and right here is level 1. These are CVC words. Math, even though it's got 4 letters, is a CVC word because it's 3 sounds. M, a, th, right there, the first word. And the second one, mad. But maybe your students are ready for more. They're ready for that blue level. See that? CVC, see? Consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant, like must. And so you would go to the blue level. Scrolling. Janice, yes, the Snapshot Assessment is in the Reading Simplified Academy website if you're a member. Anyone who's a member can get the snapshot, and it is in the welcome unit of the main course. So here we have the CVC level. I might choose this level to start my students with the activity Switch It. Or a harder level would be CVC, where the consonant clusters are at the beginning, like st, op. That's harder than when the consonant cluster is at the end, must. And maybe your kids are older in 5th grade. Even if they're not great at phonemic awareness, maybe they can handle 5 sounds, so they change the word from grunt to grant. Okay? So you might be able to just eyeball it and know where to start. Remember, you're not going to break anything if you start at the wrong list. You can always go up or down in the lesson, or certainly by tomorrow. But it's also great to kind of get as close as you can to the most challenging level that your students can handle, because that's where they're going to grow. So the snapshot may help you fine-tune where to start. It also may help you if you haven't worked with your student, or you don't have any real good assessment data. Okay, so that's what we're here about today, is how to get that assessment data if you don't already have it. in a quick and dirty way. So again, if you were in the Facebook group, if you're just joining us, everyone who has joined the Reading Simplified Level Up Your Reader's Achievement in the Next 5 Days Challenge, if you've joined that, then you get an opportunity to join this Facebook group. Then if you go to Guides, you will see this opportunity to download the Snapshot Informal Assessment. When you download it, this will be what you see. Okay, are we ready? You're welcome, Janice. Yes, I love this idea. Tara is finding a colleague. Find a colleague and choose 1 or 2 kids that you're concerned about and discuss it together. So powerful. You're going to learn a lot. Suzanne, you are looking possibly on the Reading Simplified page. You need to join the Reading Simplified Level Up Challenge to be given access to the Facebook group. Maybe, I know it's complicated, but there's a special group, just a private people that you are invited to go check out. And the way to do that, again, Suzanne, is go to this website. I'll pop it up on the screen since Jennifer helped with that. Sign up for this free event. As soon as you get to the next page, you'll be invited to go join this Facebook group. This is people that are just in this challenge, not to all of Facebook. It's private. Once you do that, you'll be given access to enter after a little while. Then you go to Guides and get this information. I hope that makes sense. Okay. Thank you, Deb. Yeah, if you are in if you're not on our main Facebook page, you might need to do an extra little step. You might find it at the top of the post to turn comments on. Thank you. That's helpful. Okay. And Christina, yeah, hopefully you got that answer. You already have this access if you're a member. This is just information for the public, all free that we're doing at this big event because it is so powerful. Okay. Yes, Sarai, we have hundreds of parents and grandparents who do this with their student, their own child or own grandchild. So pretty sure you could do it. You know, if you do it with your own child, you can do it in person. They don't have to be online learning, and the Snapshot can certainly help you. I'm glad to hear it's a beautiful Sunday morning already there in Queensland. We are having a lovely day here in Colorado Springs. Okay, let's get into it, shall we? Remember, you go to the Facebook group, Level Up Your Reader's Achievement, then go to Guides, then you can snag this complimentary assessment. It's totally optional, okay? So if you already know where to start or have a guess, don't worry about giving this to your student. On the other hand, if you have the margin to give it to your one student, then it can be good pre and post test data because you'll have at the beginning of the week how many of the letter sounds did they know, and then how many did they know maybe the Monday afterwards. That will be interesting. Okay, so there are, in this snapshot, there are 3 measures. We really only need 2 to be able to pinpoint the list for Switch It. Okay, so we've got the first one here. It's a letter sound knowledge measure, and it's select in that it's actually not all the alphabet, not all consonant digraphs. We're starting at the basic level. What is like the bare minimum that children need to be able to start to read and write and manipulate words? And so we're picking a select number of them. So that will help you know what they know well and what they're still a little rusty at. It's not a comprehensive measure of every single letter sound. But again, we're all about speed. This is about quickly getting enough information that tells you what to do tomorrow or Monday. And then the second test that's helpful for the Switch It activity is the phoneme segmentation measure. So and then there's a third thing. This is optional. This is not directly tied to Switch It, but it will tell you what reading skills your students are doing well at. And you might again see a big lift between pre and post tests with this measure. So this is more optional, but I would certainly recommend if you don't have any data to do the top 2, the letter sound measure and the phoneme segmentation measure. Okay, so this is what you're going to see for letter sounds. This is it, plus these short vowels at the bottom. handful of consonants, mostly high frequency ones, a few consonant digraphs like CH, CH, SH, TH, CK, WH. That's one sound, sh, but two letters. One sound, ch, as in cheese, but two letters. So, and then these are the so-called short vowels that we're looking for. If they can tell you a, e, I, then that's pretty good. And what we like you to do is cover up the bottom of it so that they don't see all these letters at once and get overwhelmed. You can score it, just keep track of how they did on this sheet. So this colorful sheet is for your scoring. I just put a slash through it if they get it wrong. Like a line over the S if they didn't know S. Okay, so that's the first measure. Now we're talking about the second measure, and we're going to see a video in just a second. The second measure, phoneme segmentation. This is actually, the student doesn't see anything. They can do this orally only. You orally dictate a word, and again, your colorful pages are your words, and this is where you keep score. Right here, you give them the word sit and see how many sounds they can hear in that word. S, it would be right. S, it would just be two, well, maybe one right. They would just get the s counted for s if they did s and it. And if they did it together, once or maybe twice, you would prompt them, okay, it is two sounds. Could you hear it separately? And maybe they'll be able to come up with s, it, and then get 3 points. If they can't, then again, it's just 1 point for every correct sound that was isolated by itself. If things are put together like si, doesn't count. And this gets progressively harder. It goes from 3 sounds to 4 sounds to 5 sounds. If they can't do 3 sounds, stop the test. Don't do 4 sounds. Same thing at 4 sounds. If they can maybe do 3 sounds, but they can't do any of the 4 sounds, stop the test. This is an informal measure, meaning we don't have strict rules about when to stop, when to start, what to say. They're just guidelines. So use your best judgment on your for your interaction with your student. Everything I'm saying to you now is also right here on this procedures page. So if I'm going too fast, or if you want to read it, this will tell you what to do. Okay? So those are the 2 things that are really helpful for placing kids for Switch It, because basically what you're going to do is come up with how many sounds they recognize. Like, do they know a, e, I, If they know all 5 of them, then go to a Switch It list with multiple sounds on it that you have to switch from sad to sod to pod to pod to pot to pot to pit. You're changing in and out of lots of vowels. But maybe they don't know any vowels, and so you would start with Switch It list short A. So let's go back here to the Switch It list and say they are functioning really barely at the 3 sound level. Then you know they don't know any short vowels. Then you might want to start here with short A and short I. We actually start with 2 from the get-go so they can contrast them, which is something we'll talk about soon this week. Okay, so the whole point is with this snapshot is what letter sounds do they know and what phonemic difficulty level do they know, so we can place them on the right list approximately. And I put air quotes around right because there's a lot of right answers, and you can increase the challenge after you see how your student or students respond. Isabel said she used it right then. Woohoo! Way to go. We're glad you double checked. Okay, so I'm going to show you the snapshot with a student who has been doing some reading simplified instruction. So this is not, he's not really struggling that much with this measure, but you can see some weaknesses. And I'm going to go ahead and roll the tape for him doing also the nonsense word measure. That's where we start to get into more trouble. But again, remember, for the Switch It challenge, the main thing would be to know their letter sound knowledge and their phonemic segmentation. But if you have the time to do the nonsense words, then that's great pre-test data. And a week from now, I'm almost guaranteeing you that you will see a change in all 3 of those measures, because if you do the Switch It challenge multiple days, at least 4. So I am excited to show you this video. Janice is a Reading Simplified Academy member, and she says that Reading Simplified has her vote of confidence. Yay! The best investment I've made to help my students make. I don't know what that word was, but it certainly is funny that it came out suntans. So there it is, substantial gains. You know, don't you just love autocorrect? Awesome. Thank you for saying that, Janice. Isabel, in terms of where your student or child was starting, we knew about nothing, and we are learning lots of sounds since. Might have to try it again soon. He would just spell letters, no sounds initially. Okay, then the Switch It Challenge will be a great fit for him. Okay, we're glad that we've got folks coming to us from all over, including Canada and Boston and Wisconsin. I'm going to see what Jennifer has to say, then we'll show this video of an example of the Snapshot Informal Assessment. Okay, Jennifer says, many times we think that we have to go through each list in Switch It in order, but that is not true. Okay, I just want to pause there and give this little praise. This is a big deal because a lot of reading programs expect us to go lockstep through one page after the other, and that just slows our kids down. We're going to talk about that this week. So Jennifer's giving you a sneak peek because this is her third or fourth challenge. She says you can go forward or backwards based on your students' needs. Look at where they are and choose the correct list regardless of whether it is the next one in the order or not. A lot of times, I think reading programs make us doubt our intuition and our good wisdom about what a child needs. So we just want to empower you to not let that happen. And you know your student best. Make the decision that is best for them, that's going to challenge them, but serve them. And that is one reason why we really like people to try this Switch It Challenge out with just one student. You don't have to do one student for the rest of the year, but if you have multiple students doing it, it's harder to make these kind of diagnostic decisions while you're learning a new activity. So many people are going to do it with one whole group, a small group of 3, 4, 5 kids. Sometimes I find that the best answer for this challenge is just to do one student. So you really get your eyeballs and your brain power on their ability and what they need and how to serve them best. Okay, so here we go. This is the Snapshot Assessment, giving it one-on-one with a slightly older student who has been struggling, but he's had some instruction in Switch It and Read It and Reading Simplified core practices. But you can still see we've got room to grow by the time we get to the third measure, the nonsense word reading measure. So this is about a 10-minute video of the Snapshot Informal Assessment. I'll be here and we can chat if you have questions as we go. I just want to know which sounds are really easy for you and which are still things we need to work on, okay? So just tell me the sound.
S, t,
yeah.
k, d, n, u, j. Wait, but
yeah.
I thought there was a d. F, k, j.
What else could that be? You're right. But what else could it be?
G.
Yeah.
G.
Mm-hmm.
G. O. J.
Nice.
Wait, what? No, I forgot the C.
It's okay. It's all right.
With.
That's what.
What?
And this is.
How did I forget?
You know that one. All right, last ones.
A.
It could be A. You're totally right. What's the other sound it could be?
Wait, they sound the same.
They're similar.
Yeah.
It's most likely Very nice. Okay. Let me just take a note or two, and then we'll do another activity. What did you say this one was again?
A.
It can be A. It can be The one that is kind of common in the short words is Yeah. You know Okay, now we're going to just do a game where you tell me the sounds in words. So you just listen to me and then tell me each individual separate sound. So what are the sounds in sit?
It.
Nap, like I take a nap.
Nap.
Top, like the top of my head?
Up.
Perfect. How about help?
Up.
Fast.
Fast.
Oh, you were fast. Spot.
Spot.
Okay. How about stand, like to stand up?
Stand.
Frost.
Frost.
Blink.
Blink.
Can you separate the sounds in ink?
Blink.
Wow, that was great. That can be tricky. You nailed it. Okay, how about some more nonsense words? They were kind of funny before. Let's do these.
So I can just kind of.
Yep, just tell me what that.
Mot.
Yep.
Mant. Sot.
Let's check that one again.
Sot.
Okay, keep going.
Plun. Burled. Breast. Glamp. Sprung. Spring. Split. Splat. Splist.
Which one is that one you just said?
Splist.
Oh, okay, good. Fix.
Oh, I remember that one from a while ago. Strap.
Wow, good noticing. So you did those really well. Let's try this one again.
Strap. Spread.
Yeah, good fixes. Okay. Wow, how about some words with more than one chunk? Well, maybe soon we'll come to words with more than one chunk. Let's see. A few more for me, okay? You're just doing great.
Roof. Ralph.
Mm-hmm.
Flues. Parked. Oh, these are easy, but I like them.
Good.
Zanf. Perfidy. Hipping. Brand. Parental butter. Parental? I don't know.
Okay.
Unjiggly.
Okay, that's good. They're really funny now, aren't they?
Yes. Transferagly.
That's a mouthful.
Hifreglanchion. I can't even say that.
Thank you. That was really helpful. I just want to know. Okay, so I thought it was 10 minutes. It's really not that long at all. So what did you think? Did you have any questions about it? He was pretty good with the letter sounds, right? And pretty good with segmenting, but I don't know if you could see the words. He was really botching a lot of them as soon as we got to 4-sound nonsense words. So blend as you read is still his challenge, but that is an example of how one could give the snapshot assessment. If you just joined us, we are talking about preparing for a special event that we're going to host starting Monday, October 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern. We're calling it the Level Up Your Reader's Achievement in the Next 5 Days Challenge. And I'm just inviting you, teacher, parent, grandparent, whomever, administrator, I'd love for you to test this one activity out. We have an example here on the screen of one activity we do for 5 days in a row, and we call it Switch It. And with this activity, we see so much growth. So when you join the next page, you'll have the option to join our Facebook group and get the freebies. The freebies are inside this guides right here. And once you go to guides, you'll see these options to get the snapshot assessment. You just saw me give that assessment, and you'll also get some sample Switch It lists from inside our Reading Simplified Academy. So that's what we're all about tonight. If you came in late, the snapshot assessment is optional. We're just trying to pinpoint where to begin our students' reading instruction. So it helps us know which level here for Switch It. Let me show you. Like go back here, we've got these colorful levels. Are we going to start at CVC 3 sounds? Or are we going to start at CVC sounds, 4 sounds? CVC, where the consonant is at the beginning, which is a little harder. 5 sounds like CCVCC, or 6 sounds like sprint. So it's helping us place, choose the level, and choose sounds that we're going to focus on. So we then, after the snapshot, we then scroll through this list and right here, and we figure out what sounds level, the phonemic difficulty we're going to choose, and then we pick a list. We look for the vowels that are highlighted, that are the ones that our students need the most. Or maybe our student need short consonant digraphs like CH, ch, CK, k. Okay, so that's the point of today, just a preparation if you want to do this assessment. All right, so I am going to check the questions and we'll call it a wrap and see you on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Also, don't forget to check your email each morning. You can have a preview of the day's training. We deliver it via email and Facebook Live. Also, we're going to be streaming on YouTube. So if you know people who want to join but don't care to be on the Book of Faces, then join us at YouTube. Okay, so Isabel says it was great. She's already used the snapshot, so could have used this video when we first jumped in, sorry. But you sounds like you did well. Now I'm confident next time I try to assess your kiddo. Yes, Stacy, the sheet where we keep track of the errors is part of this event. So if you go to the snapshot, that's where I'll show you in a second. This is the snapshot PDF that you will get if you are joining this challenge and you jump into the Level Up Your Readers Achievement Facebook group. And this is what you show the student. This is what you show them if you want to do the nonsense word reading. It's optional. And then this is where you mark your responses. All right, what other questions should I hit? Yes, right. So the scores, you are eyeballing it. If they are generally doing, if they do 3 sounds pretty well, then you go to 4 sounds. Even if they miss a few. So it's kind of gauging the level of frustration or difficulty. If they can do the 4 sounds pretty well, and maybe miss 1 or 2, but they did several of them accurately, then you go to 5 sounds. So this is part of the secret that you're going to discover later this week about increasing the challenge. But basically, wherever they are, instructionally speaking, like what they can do to some extent with a little bit of your help, then you bump it up to make it more challenging. I hope that makes sense. And there's also good, thanks, Mar. That's also helpful. There's more information on that guide. Okay, great. Okay, great. If they cannot do any segmentation, great question. If they can segment the first sound, if they can take in the word sit and come up with s, but they can't do it, and they can do the word nap and come up with n, but not a and p, if they can at least pull off the first sound, then go ahead and do switch it, the first list, CVC. If they cannot even come up with the s sound, then we recommend that you back down to an easier activity, and we call that build it. It's very similar to switch it, except that you're not switching. You're just building one word. So I will give you a link to see that in action. Basically, you start with build it, and pretty quickly you're able to move to switch it. So for those of you, again, if your student cannot segment even 3 sound words, then it cannot segment even the first sound, then you go here and you do build it. And for some reason, again, I cannot, that's an example. I'm going to write it in on my phone because I cannot type on my computer for some reason. readingsimplified.com/learn-letter-sounds. So this is just if you cannot segment the first sound. Most kids can do at least that if they're in school after a little bit of coaching. So don't start there unless you really can't segment the first sound, because otherwise you're just slowing your kids down. But this is a video about build it, moving into switch it. So that will show you what to do for the kids who cannot segment even that first sound in a CVC word. Glad you asked that question. It always comes up, and that's an important one. Depends on what your goals are, Stacy. She's asking, do you recommend this over other assessments? My goal for creating this in this context is just to quickly give you a plan for where to start. And then our actual instruction is very diagnostic, so it doesn't matter so much if you're precisely here or precisely there, because we titrate in and get closer and closer to instructional match. And frankly, it changes so rapidly because the activity and our approach is so accelerating that the beginning part is not as big of a deal. So generally, I would say do the shortest assessment you can, which might be the Snapshot Informal Assessment. But there's certainly a time and place to do other assessments, particularly if you need to get into the nitty-gritty of a student with a lot of issues. So I guess what I'm presenting to you is more of a screener that you could do with everybody. And the past might be something you give to kids who show some concern in phonological awareness. The core phonics, same thing. If you need a little bit more phonics knowledge information, then that might be helpful. Okay, let's see what questions I'm missing. So Tara is getting good feedback to Kay. Thank you. And sorry, we don't know who this is, but we're so glad it's starting next week. It's so exciting. I mean, it's just unbelievable that people all over the world, parents, grandparents, teachers, tutors, special educators, specialists, reading specialists, whatever, they get results really quickly. And if you don't get quick results, we're there to help you get the results by Friday. Stacey, I'm glad. Yeah, just start with the easy, quicker one to do. Okay, so maybe someone's just coming in now. How can I start? What's my first step? Make sure you sign up for the Level Up Your Readers Achievement Challenge and check your email, and maybe go back and watch this video in the replay. It'll be on our Reading Simplified Facebook page. It will also be inside the the Level Up Your Readers Achievement Facebook group. Okay, so I think I should call it a wrap. Thank you for being here with me. We will keep answering your questions, particularly for those people who are inside the Facebook group. So if you join us for this 5-day event, and once you see the thank you page and or in your email, join the Facebook group so you get the freebies, you get more support, and also, who do you know that you should tag and or invite? Send this link to them so they can do this with you. It's so much fun, so much more fun to dialogue about what you're seeing with your child, your student, your students, and share that learning experience with a colleague or a friend. So think about who might be interested in helping a beginning or struggling reader. Invite them to this free event because we always see great growth. And we've got some pretty cool prizes. Each day we're going to be giving away some pretty cool prizes. This is just one person. This is going to be one day's event prize from those who post in the Facebook post, the daily post, which is the action, the big homework for the day. And they're going to get these phonic books, early readers, dandelion readers. They're fabulous. And they match the Reading Simplified system pretty well. And in the grand prize day, we're going to give, that's a Saturday a week from now, a whole phonic set of books, a phonic book set of books, Sound Readers game cards, a Reading Simplified digital download of materials, including games. So that, and oh, this little cute little thing. Have you ever seen this Leggy liner? This is the cutest little thing. It just creates little handwriting lines. It's just a stamper. Some fun stuff for the grand prize. So there'll be those games and fun, and also seeing a student really accelerate and seeing how all of you from all over the world see your student accelerate. So please invite someone, and don't miss us on Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern live. And if you have to miss us, then it will be in the Facebook group under guides to watch the replay. Have a good evening, good day. Here's to making great readers.